Hey guys, my name's Ben Howard and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, as you probably could have guessed. Looks like it's going to be raining all week, so I'm really not going to be able to do anything outside, so figured we'd bring disc golf inside, and only thing you can really do inside is putting, so I figured what I'd do today is do some putting practice and show y'all one of my favorite putting games. The game we're going to be playing today is called Perfect Putt 360. You might have heard of it if you were playing disc golf during the pandemic or just before the pandemic started. It got really popular, and I believe a lot of pro disc golfers were making videos about it, stuff like that. We set up stations at 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 feet. We're going to do 2 cycles of 10 putts at each station. I'll put the scorecard up on the screen, but basically each putt is worth about a point except for the first and the last one of each station. And if you get all of them, you get a point bonus. And basically, if you make all 100 putts, you get 360 points. This is one of my favorite games, not only because are you getting in 100 putts per game, but you're also getting a little bit of practice when it comes to pressure putts because some points are worth more and less. And one thing I like to do is I like to use 3 putting putters, so that way I putt 3, 6, 9, and then for every station I have 1 putt left. So it kind of simulates that pressure you get for having like a pressure putt. And the other thing I like too is because all of it is inside the circle, it feels very doable. Like we're not putting from 45, 50 feet where like you're kind of throwing up hopes and prayers. Like all these putts are very makeable, so it's very good for just building up that resistance to some pressure. I believe that's everything. I'll try and make sure to put the rules up on the screen so that way hopefully nobody's confused, but let's go and get into it. Alright guys, so that finished up the first cycle. That is literally the best start I've ever had. Like, I've never done it that well. Like, typically I'll get all of 10 feet unless I get like a chain out or like a spit out, something like that. 15 feet, I'll miss 1 or 2 every once in a while. Like, it's not uncommon, but I should make all of 15 feet. 20 feet, that's where I normally start to get down to like 8, 7 shots, something like that. That's probably the first time I've ever gotten a 10 on 20, and to be able to do that on top of getting the first 2 is really sick. So hopefully I can do that again. But once we got farther back, I'm sure you can kind of tell I was getting a little bit nervous too. I was getting in my own head, like, you know, how you can do, or like you've made so many shots in a row, is like eventually you're gonna miss one, and like, you know, I'm sure you could also tell, like, once I missed that first one, I was a little bit more relaxed because that helped a lot. But getting back to 30 feet, something I always have to remind myself is that from 30 feet and out, I either need to spin the disc a little bit harder or I need to aim like an inch or 2 higher, just because my regular putt typically, as I'm sure you can probably tell, just kind of hits the front of the cage, like not even very high up on the cage, but like I said, like an inch or 2. So going to the next round, I'm just gonna have to remind myself, putt just a tiny bit higher. Like I don't even really need to aim for like the band or anything like that. Just, like I said, inch or two higher and we should be fine, but let's go and get into it. All right, guys, that finished up the second round. I feel a little bit more disappointed in my second round, which is weird because if I look at the stats, I made the same amount of putts, but if you look at the points total, I made less points. So that's kind of the interesting thing, and the thing I really like about this app is that it rewards you for certain stuff like that. It rewards you for making your first putt, your last putt, and for making all your putts. And it basically rewards you for doing the stuff that would give you pressure. On your first putt, you have a lot more pressure because you haven't made any putts from that position yet. You haven't gotten to your routine yet. And then your last putt is probably the most stressful out of any of them because not only is it worth more points, you also have the bonus for getting all the putts, so you have to make that one to get it. And if you're doing it the way I'm doing it, where I'm only using 3, I have to walk all the way over to the basket, grab one putter, and walk all the way back to get ready for that putt. So it also kind of prepares you for like those mental games you can play on yourself when you're walking from, like, let's say like you're on hole 18's tee pad and you're walking to the basket. You've got a lot of time to think and be in your own head, and so it kind of helps you work through that if you do it the way I'm doing it. The only thing I really feel like they're missing with this system is having a like streak, a multiplier, or extra points for like hitting multiple putts in a row. Because like when I was on 30 feet, I made those 3 30-footers in a row, but it doesn't really help you in any way to make multiple ones in a row unless you make all of them in a row. So I feel like you could do something there maybe, but other than that, like, I'm sure y'all can see why I really like this app so much, because it really does work on like the one part of the game that it's hardest to work on, which is the mental game, is like the pressure situations. Because the only other exercise I've really ever heard about for working on like pressure putts or pressure in any way is, I believe Macbeth talked about, he would practice with the basket being on the edge of a dock or the edge of a dam or something like that, and have water directly behind the basket, so we would have to putt, you know, basically practice as death putts. And I mean, you can do that, but this is a lot easier. So I went to look and see if I could find a link to the App Store so y'all could get Perfect Putt 360, but as far as I can tell, it's not on the App Store, and I can't really find it anywhere. The last thing I was able to find really was a post from them on Facebook from 2022. So if y'all know where you can find a link, or even just like a bootleg version of it, I'd really appreciate it if you put that down in the comments. It's not like you really need the app, because I've shown you all the points and everything, so if you're really interested in trying it out, you could do it and add it all up with a calculator or something like that. But if y'all are interested in me trying out more putting games or more apps that are designed to help disc golfers, please let me know by liking this video and let me know in the comments. And if you have any recommendations for apps I should try or games I should try, please let me know. I really appreciate it. But thank y'all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and y'all have a good one.